Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into one of the most, just one of the most beautiful and profound creation stories in all of human history, the Hindu cosmology. This is a story that doesn't start with some massive explosion, but with something much more subtle, a whisper. It's a story of sound, light, and pure divine imagination.
So, I want you to try and forget everything you think you know about how time began, just for a few minutes, and instead hold this one question in your mind as we go. What if the entire cosmos, with all of its mind-boggling complexity, was actually born from a single resonant vibration?
So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, in Hindu cosmology, the answer is kind of before the beginning. Yeah, before time, before space, before anything we could possibly imagine, there was just this singular, ultimate reality.
According to the ancient scriptures, this is called Param Brahma. Now, it's not a god in the way you might be thinking, but something more fundamental. It's the unmanifested, totally silent source of everything. You could think of it as the potential that exists before existence itself, the absolute truth that just is.
Okay, so how in the world do you get from a silent, limitless, absolute truth to everything? In this story, the whole process kicks off not with a flash of light, but with the very first stirring of sound. That first tiny vibration created the sacred syllable Om. And what's so fascinating is that Om wasn't just some random noise. It was, for all intents and purposes, the source code of the universe. It was the primordial hum that contained the blueprint for every single piece of matter, energy, and consciousness that would ever exist.
But this cosmic note wasn't a solo act, no way. It immediately gave birth to a kind of harmony of three fundamental qualities which are called the gunas. And these aren't just abstract ideas, they're the essential building blocks, the very texture of reality itself. And this table just illustrates that balance perfectly. First, you've got sattva, which is the force of harmony, purity, and preservation. Then there's rajas, the energetic, passionate force of creation and action. And finally, you have tamas, the force of inertia, darkness, and dissolution. And the key here is that none of them are good or bad. They're just these three essential threads in the cosmic loom, constantly weaving everything into existence through their endless dance.
And you can see how this all builds with this really elegant logic. It starts with that first sound, Om. That gives rise to a basic elemental component, the Mahatattva. Then, the gunas we just talked about start interacting within it. And it's from that dynamic interplay that the fundamental elements of our physical universe are finally born.
And here they are, the Panchtattva, the five great elements: air, water, fire, earth, and ether, which you can think of as space. According to this story, these are the literal ingredients that make up everything you can see, everything you can touch, and everything you experience.
But here's where it gets truly amazing. The universe wasn't just built to be, it was built to be experienced. So, in this beautiful parallel, the very same qualities, the gunas, that formed the elements also formed the tools to perceive them, our five senses, and a mind to make sense of it all. The groundwork for consciousness was there from the very beginning.
All right, so the fundamental physics of the universe are now in place. The cosmic canvas is ready. And now it's time for the divine artists to show up and start, painting the universe into being.
As this whole process is unfolding, Param Brahma causes cosmic waters to flow. And appearing within these waters is a divine power known as Narayana, or Lord Vishnu. His name literally means the one who dwells in water, which perfectly symbolizes his role as the preserver of this brand new baby universe. Then, a seed is planted in these cosmic waters, and it grows into something incredible. A dazzling golden egg that glows with its own light. It's called the Hiranyagarbha. Lord Vishnu then enters this cosmic egg, basically becoming the embryo of the entire universe, getting ready for the next great act of creation. And from inside this golden egg, we get one of the most iconic images in all of Hindu cosmology. A magnificent lotus flower just blossoms right from Vishnu's navel. And sitting right there on that lotus is Brahma, the being who is now tasked with shaping and composing the physical universe. So, we have our creator Brahma inside this cosmic egg. But he doesn't just jump into action. For nearly a full year, he stays inside the Hiranyagarbha, just meditating, gathering his power for what would become the single most important act of physical creation. So when he was finally ready, what did he do with this single, perfect, golden egg? He divided it, right in two.
And this is the moment the universe really gets its structure. With one powerful act, Brahma splits the Hiranyagarbha. One half shoots up to become Svarga, or heaven, and the other half becomes Prithvi, or earth. And all that space in between, that became the sky.
Now, this was so much more than just cosmic interior design. This single act established the fundamental realms of existence. And with a world now officially separated from the heavens, the great cycle of birth, death, and rebirth could finally begin.
The physical world is forged. It's here. But Brahma's work isn't quite done. I mean, what's the point of creating conscious beings if they have no idea what their purpose is, or what the nature of reality is? They needed a guide. A manual, if you will.
And so, from a state of incredibly deep meditation, Brahma brought forth the ultimate gift for all of creation, the 4 holy scriptures, the Vedas. And these weren't just books, they were the spiritual blueprint, packed with the hymns, philosophies, and rituals that would guide all living beings. And their purpose couldn't have been more profound or direct. It was, and I quote, to acquaint living beings with the foundation and purpose of their existence. Seriously, think about that. It was intended to be a user's manual for the cosmos, gifted from the Creator to all living things.
Sir, to bring this all back together, let's go back to that analogy from the beginning. This entire creation story really can be seen as a grand cosmic symphony. Param Brahma is the silent conductor, the one who wills it all into being. Om is that powerful first note that gets the music started. The gunas and the elements are all the different instruments and rhythms giving it texture and depth. And Brahma is the great composer, arranging it all into the beautiful, complex piece that is our universe.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final, fascinating question. In this grand cosmic symphony that started with a single hum and was literally composed by the gods, what instrument are you? What kind of melody are you adding to the music of existence?